Welcome to the Daily Financial News Roundup. It's December 23rd, 2024, and we've got a packed show for you today.
Yeah, a lot going on today.
So let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Innovative Industrial Properties, or IIPR,
IIPR?
ticker symbol for those following along at home. This REIT, specializing in cannabis real estate, is finding itself under the microscope.
Yeah, they are under investigation by DeCello Levitt, LLP, and this all stems from their major tenant PharmaCann defaulting on rent for December across 6 of their 11 leased facilities.
Oh, wow.
That represents about 17% of Innovative's annual base rent, making it the largest in the company's history.
And the market reacted pretty swiftly to that, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. IIPR stock took a major hit, tumbling over 22%.
Wow. So for anyone out there with exposure to IPR, this situation definitely warrants close monitoring.
It will be interesting to see how this all unfolds and what this might signal about the broader cannabis real estate market.
Absolutely. All right, moving on from cannabis to fintech, we have Kaspi.kz, a company based in Kazakhstan, facing a class action lawsuit filed by Robbins LLP.
Yeah, this suit alleges that the company wasn't entirely forthcoming about its dealings with Russia following the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. And they also have undisclosed related party transactions.
And there are concerns about potential links between Kaspi.kz executives and alleged criminals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. These are serious accusations brought to light by a Culper research report, and the damage to Kaspi.kz's reputation is evident in the stock's decline.
So this situation really kind of highlights the importance of transparency and ethical conduct for companies operating in volatile geopolitical environments.
Yeah, especially with everything going on right now, it's super important.
Transparency seems to be a recurring theme today.
It does seem to be a theme.
Now let's change gears a little bit and talk about CAS teaming up with PetroChina's Shanghai Advanced Materials Research Institute. CAS is a division of the American Chemical Society.
Yeah, this is a really exciting collaboration.
Yeah.
PetroChina is aiming to transition towards sustainable materials, and CAS, with its vast scientific database and the SciFinder Discovery platform, is the ideal partner to accelerate this. So we could see some really groundbreaking new materials coming out of this partnership.
Absolutely. Think about the implications for industries ranging from construction to consumer goods.
Yeah, it's really a development worth watching for anyone interested in the future of material science.
For sure.
Now back to the legal arena. Xerox Holdings Corporation is facing a class action lawsuit encouraged by Rosen Law Firm. This lawsuit focuses on a specific period between January 25th and October 28th of this year, and targets alleged misleading statements regarding workforce reductions and sales force reorganization.
So the lawsuit claims that Xerox downplayed the impact of these actions on sales and revenue, leading investors astray.
So once again, we see a potential issue with transparency and accountability.
Yeah, and this situation underscores the importance of critically evaluating company statements and, where necessary, seeking legal counsel to protect your interests.
Right. Sticking with this theme, MGP Ingredients, known for its alcoholic beverages, is also under scrutiny. Robbins LLP has issued an alert to investors who purchased the company's stock between May 4th, 2023 and October 30th, 2024.
So the allegations here revolve around misrepresenting demand and inventory levels, which allegedly resulted in a stock price decline.
So for investors in MGP Ingredients, this situation is definitely one to monitor as it develops.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on that one.
Another deadline to be aware of involves Mynaric AG Rosen Law Firm, is reminding investors about the approaching lead plaintiff deadline in a securities class action lawsuit against the company.
This lawsuit alleges that Mynaric AG wasn't transparent about production delays and their impact on revenue and profitability.
So for those of you invested in Mynaric AG, timely action is crucial to ensure you don't miss out on potential compensation.
Yeah, don't miss that deadline.
Now let's shift gears to the world of resource exploration. Global Uranium Corp, traded on the Canadian Securities Exchange under the symbol GURN, has successfully closed a private placement, raising $2,450,000.
This is a significant development. Global Uranium Corp plans to use these funds for uranium exploration projects in Canada.
This move really seems to highlight the growing interest in the uranium sector, particularly in North America.
Definitely. And it will be interesting to see how the demand for uranium evolves as the world seeks reliable and clean energy sources.
Now, for a story that showcases the power of creative branding, let's turn our attention to Starface World.
So Starface World has made a name for itself by turning pimple patches into trendy accessories, achieving a remarkable $90 million in annual revenue.
That's impressive. What's their secret?
Well, their target audience is Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And they've effectively used social media to create a fun and inclusive brand that really resonates with younger generations.
It's a compelling example of how a company can challenge conventional perceptions and reshape an entire industry.
Yeah, it's amazing what they've done.
Now back to the pharmaceutical world. Applied Therapeutics Inc. is facing potential challenges after the FDA rejected their lead drug candidate.
This rejection is a major setback for the company, and Robbins LLP is investigating a potential class action lawsuit alleging that Applied Therapeutics misled investors about the drug's efficacy.
This situation reminds us that FDA approvals are a critical factor for pharmaceutical companies, and unexpected setbacks can have significant repercussions for investors.
It's definitely a high-stakes game.
Switching gears to a more personal note, former President Bill Clinton was hospitalized in Washington, D.C. due to a fever.
Hopefully this is a minor health issue and he'll make a full recovery soon.
Reports indicate that he is in good spirits and receiving excellent care.
It's good to hear.
Back to market news. Wolfspeed Inc. is another company facing scrutiny from Rosen Law Firm.
Right. The lawsuit alleges that Wolfspeed made misleading statements about its growth potential and the profitability of its Mohawk Valley fabrication facility.
This serves as a reminder that even seemingly promising companies can face unexpected hurdles.
You've got to stay vigilant.
ASP Isotopes Inc. is also facing scrutiny for potential misleading statements this time regarding their technology and financial performance.
Rosen Law Firm is urging ASP Isotopes investors to consider their legal options, highlighting the importance of staying informed and proactively protecting your investments.
And we have yet another deadline approaching. Rosen Law Firm is reminding Symbotic Inc. investors of the upcoming lead plaintiff deadline in a securities class action.
This lawsuit centers around allegations of improper revenue recognition practices. So investors in Symbotic Inc. should take note of this deadline and act accordingly.
From potential legal woes to a shining example of long-term investment success, let's talk about Lind.
Lind offers a compelling example of how a well-chosen investment can grow significantly over time. Imagine this. If you had invested $1,000 in Lind stock 10 years ago, you would have over $3,000 today.
That's the power of compounded returns, a testament to patience and a well-considered investment strategy.
It's a heartening reminder that amidst market volatility and potential pitfalls, long-term investment strategies can yield substantial rewards.
And finally, Flux Power Holdings, Inc. is facing a class action lawsuit spearheaded by Rosen Law Firm.
The lawsuit alleges financial misstatements by the company, and they're encouraging affected investors to seek legal advice to understand their rights and options.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We certainly have. From allegations of misleading investors to groundbreaking partnerships and individual investment success stories, today's financial news cycle has been a whirlwind.
It has been a jam-packed episode. We'll continue our roundup of market-moving news in Part 2 right after this.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more insights and analysis to help you navigate the world of finance. Welcome back to the Daily Financial News Roundup.
So let's delve a little deeper into some of these legal challenges that we touched on earlier. Xerox Holdings Corporation is facing that class action lawsuit that Rosen Law Firm is encouraging investors to join.
Right. The crux of this lawsuit really lies in the allegation that Xerox misled investors about the consequences of workforce reductions and sales force restructuring on their sales and revenue. Basically, they tried to paint a rosier picture than reality allowed.
To the detriment of investors.
Right, to the detriment of investors.
So once again, a potential case of a company trying to downplay negative news to protect their stock price.
Absolutely. And it raises a crucial question for investors out there. How can you, as an investor, discern genuine company communications from potential attempts to obscure unfavorable information? Due diligence and a healthy dose of skepticism are often your best tools.
MGP Ingredients, the alcoholic beverage company, also finds itself in a similar situation. Robbins LLP issued an alert for investors who purchased their stock between May 2023 and October 2024.
Yeah, the class action lawsuit against MGP Ingredients revolves around allegations that the company misrepresented demand and inventory levels.
And this can really erode investor confidence and cast a long shadow over a company's future prospects.
Absolutely.
So these cases involving Xerox and MGP Ingredients really highlight this recurring theme of transparency in financial markets.
Yeah, when companies are not upfront about their challenges or potential risks, it creates an uneven playing field for investors.
And this is why these class action lawsuits, while often complex and lengthy, play such a vital role in holding companies accountable and protecting the integrity of the market. Speaking of deadlines, Rosen Law Firm is reminding Mineric AG investors that a key deadline is approaching in his securities class action lawsuit against the company.
Right. This lawsuit alleges that Mineric AG wasn't fully transparent about production delays and their impact on the company's financial performance. So investors who believe they may have been affected by these alleged misrepresentations need to act swiftly to avoid missing out on potential compensation.
Timely action is crucial in these types of situations. Now let's move from potential legal battles to a company making headlines for a positive reason. Global Uranium Corp.
Global Uranium Corp successfully closed a private placement, raising 2,450,000 Canadian dollars. This capital infusion will be used to fuel their uranium exploration projects in Canada.
So this investment seems well-timed, considering the growing interest in the uranium sector, particularly in stable and secure jurisdictions like Canada.
Precisely, Global Uranium Corp's strategic focus on North America is worth noting, as the world seeks reliable sources of energy. Uranium, with its high energy density and relatively small environmental footprint, is likely to see increased demand.
It's definitely something to consider as we evaluate long-term investment strategies. Now, for a story that showcases the power of creative branding, let's turn our attention to Starface World.
Starface World has achieved remarkable success by transforming a typically mundane product, pimple patches, into a sought-after fashion accessory. Their revenue of $90 million annually speaks volumes about their ability to connect with their target audience.
Their focus on Gen Z and Gen Alpha, combined with their clever use of social media, has clearly struck a chord.
Absolutely. They've managed to destigmatize a common skin concern, and in doing so, created a brand that's fun, inclusive, and empowering.
It's a reminder that even in established markets, there's always room for innovation and disruption.
For sure.
Let's return to the world of pharmaceuticals, where Applied Therapeutics, Inc. is facing headwinds after the FDA rejected their lead drug candidate.
Right. This rejection is a major setback for Applied Therapeutics. And Robbins LLP is investigating a potential class action lawsuit, alleging that the company misled investors about the drug's efficacy.
This brings up an important point for investors in the pharmaceutical sector. The FDA approval process is rigorous, and setbacks, while disappointing, are not uncommon.
Indeed, a diversified portfolio and a long-term investment horizon can help mitigate the impact of these inherent risks.
Now, shifting gears to a personal note, former President Bill Clinton was hospitalized in Washington, D.C. due to a fever.
Hopefully this is just a minor health issue and he makes a full recovery soon.
Reports indicate that he's in good spirits and receiving excellent care, so that's good.
That is good to hear.
Back to market news. Wolfspeed Inc. is another company facing scrutiny from Rosen Law Firm.
The lawsuit alleges that Wolfspeed made misleading statements about its growth potential and the profitability of its Mohawk Valley fabrication facility. It's a reminder that even companies operating in seemingly high-growth sectors, such as semiconductors, are not immune to challenges and potential legal scrutiny.
Transparency and accurate financial reporting are crucial, especially in industries that are evolving rapidly.
Absolutely.
ASP Isotopes Inc. is another company facing allegations of misleading statements this time regarding their technology and financial performance.
Rosen Law Firm is urging ASP Isotopes investors to explore their legal options. This situation highlights the importance of investor vigilance and the need to seek professional advice when you suspect wrongdoing.
Speaking of deadlines, we have another one approaching. Rosen Law Firm is reminding Symbotic Inc. investors of the upcoming lead plaintiff deadline in a securities class action lawsuit.
This lawsuit alleges that Symbotic Inc. improperly accelerated revenue recognition, potentially distorting its financial performance. Investors in Symbotic Inc. should take note of this deadline and consult with legal counsel if they believe they have been affected.
Now, for a positive example of the power of long-term investing, let's take a look at Lind.
Lind demonstrates how a well-chosen investment can yield substantial returns over time. If you had invested $1,000 in Linda stock 10 years ago, your investment would be worth over $3,000 today.
That's a testament to the power of compounded returns. It's a reminder that even in the face of market volatility and short-term fluctuations, a well-constructed portfolio and a patient approach can generate significant wealth.
Exactly. The Lind example highlights the importance of not being swayed by short-term market noise and instead focusing on companies with solid fundamentals and a proven track record of performance.
And to wrap up our coverage for today, we have Flux Power Holdings, Inc. facing a class action lawsuit led by Rosen Law Firm.
This lawsuit alleges financial misstatements by the company, and they encourage affected investors to seek legal advice to understand their rights and options.
We've covered a wide range of financial news today, haven't we?
It has indeed. It's a reminder that the world of finance is dynamic and ever-changing, requiring investors to stay informed, be proactive in protecting their interests, and seek professional guidance when needed.
Excellent points. We'll be right back after a short break with the final segment of the Daily Financial News Roundup.
We'll wrap up with some key takeaways and leave you with a few things to ponder as you navigate the exciting world of finance. Welcome back to the Daily Financial News Roundup.
It's been a lot of information today, hasn't it?
It really has been a lot of ground covered, from allegations of misleading investors to, just the importance of due diligence and all of that, to, I guess, some of the more inspiring examples of innovation and the power of long-term investing.
So as we wrap up this episode, what are some key takeaways that our listeners should keep in mind?
I think one of the most important lessons from today is that transparency matters. Companies that are open and honest about their operations and the challenges they face and potential risks, it fosters trust with investors. And that trust, in turn, contributes to a healthier and more stable market.
Transparency is definitely a recurring theme. I mean, we saw it with the lawsuits against Innovative Industrial Properties, KSV.KZ, Xerox, MGP Ingredients. I mean, it just seems that when companies try to hide or downplay negative information, it often comes back to bite them.
Exactly. And the consequences can be pretty severe, not only for the companies involved, but also for investors who may have been misled. So it's crucial to be vigilant, do your research, and don't be afraid to ask tough questions.
Another key takeaway is the importance of diversification. We saw several examples today of companies facing setbacks, whether due to legal challenges, FDA rejections, or just market volatility in general. you
Yeah.
know. It's a reminder that no investment is foolproof, and that spreading your risks across different asset classes and sectors can help protect your portfolio.
Absolutely. Diversification is just a fundamental principle of sound investing. It doesn't eliminate risk, but it can definitely help mitigate the impact of any single investment going sour.
And speaking of mitigating risk, we also saw the importance of long-term investing today, like the example of Lind, where a $1,000 investment 10 years ago would be worth over $3,000 today. That illustrates the power of patience and compound returns.
It's a great reminder that time is just one of the most powerful forces in investing. The longer you stay invested, the more opportunity your money has to grow, especially if you reinvest your earnings.
So even amidst market volatility and potential pitfalls, a well-constructed portfolio and a disciplined long-term approach can help investors achieve their financial goals.
For sure. And let's not forget the importance of seeking professional advice when needed. Whether it's a financial advisor, a legal expert, or a tax consultant, having access to, trusted professionals can make all the difference in navigating the complexities of the financial world.
Yeah, well said. It's all about empowering yourself with knowledge, being proactive, and making informed decisions. And that's what we strive to do here on the Daily Financial News Roundup. Provide you with the insights and analysis you need to stay ahead of the curve.
It's been a pleasure talking about this stuff with you today.
The pleasure is all mine. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Financial News Roundup.